What is going on, everybody? Me and Brandy doing another couples therapy. We was able to go out to the movies. We were able to see another one of the screen unseens at AMC, where you go see a movie and you don't know what you're going to get. We got, as you can tell from the background, the guy from Reacher was the main star here. The movie Motor City. All right, guys. Spoiler. Now, we're giving it a couple seconds for real. So, we'll talk about things in the movie. One of the coolest things I've seen in cinema this year, almost all of last year, except for maybe one or two scenes from that movie Weapons that I was talking about earlier, is an elevator scene.
He wants to get right into it. He wants to save mine for less.
Oh, bro, let me go ahead and tell you right now. There's a scene, the main character, the guy from Reacher, Alan, I think his first name, he gets into the elevator. And he's going up because he's trying to spot where these cars, because they're speeding off or trying to get away from him and everything. So he's trying to get to the roof so that he can spot where they're going. And as he's doing that, this dude that's part of the drug ring, because basically there's one character.
It's a dirty cop.
Well, you got a dirty cop, but you also have
the dirty cop.
Drug lord. Oh, the drug lord.
In the elevator was the dirty cop.
Yeah, but I'm saying the person he's trying to get. The person he's trying to track down is this drug dealer that obviously has dirty cops on his payroll. The dirty cop catches up. He's got a knife that he got from one of the characters that's in the thing that's actually friends with Alan's character.
I actually like that guy.
Yeah. So but anyway, so he's getting in the elevator. Boom. This dude comes out of nowhere. This dirty cop comes out of nowhere. And the dirty cop doesn't seem like he's a badass at any point of the movie. But man, they get into this elevator, bro. He tackles the main character, Alan's character. They fall down. He had a couple of shotguns. He drops them. And then they get into this close quarters combat inside the elevator. And it was freaking beautiful. The guy with the knife, it's very realistic. Because it's a lot of fights, you'll see the guys oh, he's trying to get him with a knife. And it's oh, he misses him every time. Bull crap. It's bro, that's not going to happen.
There was a lot of blood in this.
Oh, yeah. So, this particular scene, he is going off, the dirty cop's going off on the Alan. And he's cutting him in different spots, slicing him and the blood splattering up against a wall and everything else.
The one gets shot off. Cuts him.
Yeah, then there's a part where Alan gains I'm just going to call him Alan because we really don't know the character's name. So Alan gets a kind of a little bit of, obviously he starts fighting back, and he there's a moment where he stabs him through the hand and it goes through the floor, and then we're sitting there and Alan, and it was cool because the camera goes to the ground and it's right on the knife, and the Alan character is just beating the crap out of that dude at that moment. Well, the only way that guy can put a fight, he basically pulls his hand through and cuts his hand basically in half to free it from the knife.
I closed my eyes.
Yep. And there was some guy behind us that was oh, and then so that happens and he starts putting his fingers in the Alan character's eyes and everything else. It's bro, but then I don't want to talk about the whole thing because I want to leave some of it to you. I do want to talk about the whole thing, but I'm not going to spoil every single bit. But
he blows his leg off.
Oh, yeah. So the Alan character, they're both on the ground. He's starting to lose. He's got a freaking knife through his arm, all the way through his arm, but I might add. But he gets his hand finally on the shotgun that he dropped earlier. And you hear the shot, and you don't see it, the impact, but you just hear it. And the camera pans back, and the guy that gets shot, I think it's just a gut shot like you normally would see in a movie. But as he pushes himself back towards the elevator door, and when he does, he's sliding back, one of his legs is missing, and it's right there, and the dude's in shock, and he reaches down and he grabs it and acts like he's trying to put it back on.
I closed my eyes at that part too.
Oh man, that was so good. It's such a beautiful touch. I love gore. I am going to get you guys an Evil Dead Burn review out here pretty soon, but the one I recorded got messed up. Technical difficulties on that one. But I am going to get that. But I love that kind of stuff, bro. That was super
That's where I closed my eyes and was no. As soon as when he pulled his hand, I was oh no. When I saw the blood splatter, and I was nope, this is. I love the fun this is the stuff I don't like.
I love the fact that right then when you hid your eyes, you disappeared totally. Oh, did I? So it was
I pretty much disappeared in the thing.
Now, but that's my favorite scene, just because I loved how brutal it was. It was kick ass. But when what would be? I know you don't particularly love the movie, but what would have been like your favorite scene? None of it.
Actually, when he got the guy, the cop, the guard, when he was in the jail, and he pulled him, he hit him. He deserved it because that guy was a dick to him in the jail. The cop, but the cop like pretty much threw a letter at him, like basically whistled at him and then threw it on the floor, like get it. So the cop was like, the guard was right at the bars, and he reached through real fast and grabbed his tie and pulled him.
I'm surprised.
He deserved that. I think a lot of people deserved a lot of things because of the way that they did shit to this guy was.
I get why you don't like the style of the movie and stuff, but no, I'm surprised you didn't say to me at the very beginning. I thought Brandy would pick this.
I also liked the guy. When they were falling in love.
Listen, I thought the setup where it had the Alan character and he's, like it shows this little scene where he bumps into the girl at a club. He's actually a drug. He sells drugs. So like both of these characters are flawed to a certain point. Obviously, one's more flawed than the other. But the Alan character, he's like outside of this place, out in the alleyway, and he's selling like drugs to people. And the lady, the main actress, comes out.
Shailene.
Yep. So she comes out, and they end up meeting on a chance thing, and then like she's with this asshole the drug boss, and you don't know that at first. He gives her a cigarette. They're laughing. Shows them like laughing and kind of like everything.
I thought she was like, see, because you don't know what's going on. So I thought she was like a call girl or something, like one of his, like he was a pimp and that was one of his girls. That's what it seemed like to me, because you don't know what's going on because there's no dialogue.
No, I didn't read that.
I read it. I read that they were at a club or whatever, and the way she was dressed, I thought she was one of his bitches, call girls, whatever.
Well, the main bad guy comes out. Yeah, the main bad guy comes out, sees their interaction, and then he gets stupid and pulls out a gun, and Alan's character beats the crap out of him and almost kills him. She like shakes her head like, don't kill him. He's got like a busted up bottle up to his throat. And he just scratches him across his chest, gives him a mark there and what have you. And then she leaves with the Alan character and her leave together. And it looks like we see the Alan character trying to like make his life better. He really happy because all these good things are happening to him at one point because he gets like off parole. Like, so he's cleaning up his life. So there's time that passes through this movie.
But you don't know because it's not really explained a lot. So the first scene we basically get is the end scene. The end scene was the first scene. So I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, what is going on? Like,
well, I understood that right off the top.
No.
So, as soon as he shoots and then there's like the ring coming out of the gun and he's falling back and it stops, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be the end of the movie. So yeah, but I didn't know what the ring meant. I didn't know what it was about. So when you see him, we see that flashback, the one where he met the girl. But the way they met was like, she was basically being pushed around by. Yeah, he comes out before the fight. So that's why I thought that he was like a pimp or something. That was one of his girls, and he's trying to get her to go back to work or whatever. He came out and saw them like having a conversation and got jealous. But she went out, and then she came out, and when she came out, when he was trying to pull her back, I thought that it was one of his, Yeah, I could see where you saw that, but like as the thing went on, and he like actually did like he was a bad guy. It was supposed to be from in the 70s, like the late, was it 70? 77 was the start of the movie. 77. Yeah, and then he went with her. And then you don't see how they all fall in love. You just see him, he gets out of work, he goes to this car, and... No, you see him cleaning up his life. He's doing like a regular job now. He's working, but you see him come out of the work and go to the car and get the thing from the guy. He gives money and the guy gives him the bag. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we don't know what's in the bag. You just pick it up, and he's like, oh, thanks. I think it's the ring. It is the ring, but we didn't know it at that point. So
I'm thinking, oh, he's buying drugs or something, so he put it in his car, and then he went and drove to the convenience store, and when he got out, but you see some people kind of like watching him, kind of following him a bit, and he goes into the convenience store to get like a paper or something, and he goes out and his car's gone. And I'm like...
Well, he goes out, and he sees his car being sped away, and he takes off, he drops his coffee.
He drops his coffee, and then he's running. I'm like, how are you running after the car? Like, the car ain't that fast? The car's that fast?
Oh, when you drive... You know this, you live, like... now I live, like, right down the street from Boston. How fast can you drive in Boston on those streets of a city? Not very fast.
You drive fast. You can drive fast. You ain't running 25, 30 miles per hour.
You can't even move in like a city like Boston or New York. I don't know what city this was based in, but it's obviously a bit... Well,
Motor
Detroit.
City.
Yes. Back then, it ain't the Detroit of the day that's like falling apart. It was like the Detroit when it was humming, when cars were a big thing, like when it was like making money. So like you ain't driving, speeding in Detroit.
After a car like that and catching it.
Like, he didn't catch it.
He went down... He did, because he went down the alley and he saw the...
He did not catch the car. He went down the alley, like you just said.
And then
he noticed like another car that had been driving by him.
The car went down and went around. And then another car drove back, and it was the people that he noticed or something like that. And then he went down.
He didn't honk down the car.
His car was right there, and he got his car back. And I'm like...
because they set it up with drugs.
Yes. But the way... There's no way you're running and getting a car. Like,
he just ran around the corner, guys. He didn't honk down the... She's making it seem like he honked down the car.
I'm disappeared. I can't put my hand up to my head because I'll disappear. But no, it wasn't
like a high-speed chase and he like ran the car down with his foot. Now, you would have a... she actually does have an argument because there is a spot where it's at night and it doesn't seem like there's a shit ton of traffic. At the very end of the movie, where the bad guy, the drug dealer guy, is trying to the main bad guy is trying to get away, and he does run down the car. That was a little unbelievable. I'll give you some props on that one. But the beginning of the movie,
the other one wasn't. And then he gets his car, and then he goes right to the glove box, and he take it out, and that's when we see that it's a ring.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes to the girl, and then it showed him going to an office, and we don't know what that office is. I'm like, oh, is he going to get a job or something? I thought it was a job interview, and then you see a paper probation, Yeah,
it's cleared. So he cleans up his life. It definitely shows you that he's cleaning up his life. He's trying to get better.
Then he goes to the house, and the girl is a waitress.
We just went on. Listen, this is why it's called couples therapy. We just went on a long tangent because the only reason why I brought this up was because I was shocked that this next scene that's coming up is not Brandy's favorite, because it was actually up there for me, because there is a scene where his girlfriend, now it looks like they've been living together for a little while, she's making some breakfast, and he's got the ring now, and he's just got off parole.
She's dressed as a waitress. Her name is Sophia. That's what it says on her name tag.
So anyway,
and she
he's got a ring and he's opening it up and he's looking at her, and you can see the reaction from him, and there's some music going on.
Obviously they're struggling because she's a waitress and he's working in a factory or whatever. They got a home, but so when he's proposing to her, then you see a thing coming through a window, and I was like, oh, are these the dudes that stole the car that are coming after him or something? Something happened, and it's the cops coming in, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Excuse my language. I'm like, and then they pull him, and you see her screaming, and but you don't hear the words. There's no words. So he's pulling out, and then you put him on the friggin' floor, and he's saying, what are you doing? And the cop goes to the car, and they're at his car, and they open the trunk. Now you're telling me this guy didn't open his trunk in that time frame or whatever?
Okay.
Let's go there.
You can make a little bit of an argument there, but I would have never assumed. I would have never assumed that somebody joy rid my car just a couple of seconds and put something in the car.
It wasn't even
I wouldn't have necessarily thought about that. Maybe you go to the trunk for something else, but what? Anyway, there's a beautiful moment where he's got the ring and everything else, and he's
that was gonna be my favorite moment.
He proposed to her and stuff, and they're there's the excitement after that, and they're they doing all this stuff. It's done really well. And the fact that they didn't use words, you didn't hear them talking to each other, to me made it even better, because most of the time they're going to have these characters say some cheesy ass stupid shit that ain't good at all, that ain't cool, that ain't even something that normal people would even say to each other.
So then, at that scene or whatever, you see the dirty cop come out. And they go, oh, we got our guy. And then he goes over to the guy and he's like, shh. And I'm like, what the fuck? Do they know each other? Do you know they know each other? Like, what? And he's like,
no, he's just going up to him and telling him to be quiet.
You hear them talk like him, like you can read his mouth. He's like, I was set up. Like, this is.
Obviously.
But they got him on the ground. And then there's another cop. And he's looking at that other cop. And it's just like, it just seemed where I think
he's a good cop.
Yeah, the good cop.
Like, I'm getting this.
But I thought maybe he was like the chief because, or whatever, the higher up guy. And he's like, oh, gonna talk to the other guy. But it seemed weird. And it was the guy from Gotham.
See, it's according on how you watch movies. Like, it didn't seem weird to me at all. It was obviously the good cop. And then when you go to the cop station, you see the guy that you just talked about that's the good cop. He's sitting out in the front with all the other cops. And then there's one guy that's got his own room. Obviously, that's guy's the bad boss.
Guy.
He's the bad guy, but he's also the boss.
Yeah. But when he goes in there, so then we get the scene there in the police station.
Damn, Brandy gonna tell you all that.
I will.
He's the entire whole movie over here.
The police station, and the girl's over in it, and all you hear her say was, "I loved you," like hitting it, like mad.
Yeah. So it's one of the first times. It might not be the only time. There might have been a time before that, but it's one of the few times that, like, you can hear her say what she said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of the other times was Merry fucking Christmas. That was the other one you heard her say. But she, like, right there, it's like she gave up on him. Like, I loved you. Like, I'm sorry, if you love somebody, you're going to stay and try to, like, he didn't do it. Like, you're going to believe. If someone was going on, so you're my husband, right? Somebody come after you said you did something. I'm sorry, I'm sticking by you because you but my man, and like we're gonna get this figured out. She didn't even do that. It was like, I loved you. Here's the ring back. Like, and then
she just throws it on the ground, and then that's how it's.
The dude picks it up, and then the other dude, her ex, whatever that he was, he comes into the thing, and then we see when he comes in, we didn't know who he was at first, and that's when they had the scene of him coming out, right?
Yeah, but like the whole point
that we had the scene of him coming out when they were at the when she met him, the other dude who just disappeared.
No, I totally agree.
And then he comes out, and then we see who he was, and I was like, and that was Ben Foster. That came out. I like him. But I was like, what the frig's going on? I'm like, this guy's coming in. I'm like, is he his lawyer or something?
And maybe that's one of the things.
I was like, oh, is he a lawyer or something?
Maybe that's what
because we're not getting dialogue, so you're not knowing what the hell's going on.
And then maybe that's the thing, right? Because maybe we watch movies a little bit differently, but this whole entire thing, to me, I didn't get confused one moment.
Confused a lot of the time.
I was not confused. Like, it literally, when it shows him and it's like black and it's just a silhouette of him, and then they literally do a flashback. They literally do a flashback of the drug dealer guy doing something, and then it comes back, and then he walks into the light so you can see who it was. It's like, oh, obviously that's the drug dealer guy.
Well, when the person comes in and he sees him and you don't see his face, I'm like, oh, is this his lawyer or something coming, or somebody coming to to interrogate him?
So actually, we misordered that part, or you misordered that part, because actually, when you see the silhouette, you think it might just be the dirty cop at first.
No,
but then that's when they do the flashback and it shows how they meet each other.
No, I knew it was the one that, because they showed him at the.
But they do a flashback before they reveal his face, because he's dark. You can't see who it is.
But I thought it was maybe the lawyer or somebody coming to.
No, but they literally do a flashback in between where it actually shows him getting in the fight with the guy in the alleyway.
Yes.
That we've already talked about.
Yes.
And then it comes back on, and then when he walks into the open, it's literally the same guy that he just got in a fight with.
But you don't know why he's there, because he's not. It's in a police station. You're gonna be interrogated. You're not supposed to be in there. But I was like, is it a lawyer? Is he a cop? Like.
No, he's dirty, but he's got cops on the payroll. That's obvious to me. I was already there at that moment. I already understood.
It wasn't obvious to me, because I'm like, oh, he's a cop, like, or he's like.
Like I said, that's going to be the issue.
Like,
that's going to be the issue for some people because, like,
he was a cop too, and he wasn't. And I'm like, it's just like, and I think I started texting Adelia at this point. I'm like, I'm not liking this movie. Like, this movie. And then she's like, what? And I'm like, there's no dialogue in it. She's like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm confused about a lot of things. And then she gives up and she's back working her job, and she's gonna get evicted. She got an eviction notice, and then that dude shows up at the thing, and then she's like, oh, like sits down with him, drinks coffee, smokes a cigarette, and is basically like, oh, I'm going back with you. Like, bitch.
I will say that, like,
she was because she didn't want to be evicted, so she's like, oh, I'm gonna live the high life again. So I'm gonna just jump into his dick again. Anyway.
Here goes the thing. Here goes the thing. The thing that happened to her towards the end, I didn't think what she did was bad enough to, like, get what she got coming to her from the drug guy. But at the same time, it's one of those things to where I agree with you on this part. She, like, gets pissed because now I will say I understand where she's coming from, where she kind of believes it, because obviously she got up with him and he did have issues with, like, drugs and selling drugs, and then he gets caught with a bunch of drugs. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, if you already had that problem once before, even if you were trying to be better, like, it's going to be believable that you probably are doing drugs again, or not doing them, but, like, selling them or something.
He just got off probation and everything for something. We don't know.
Right, exactly. Well, it's a probation was obviously because he was out there selling drugs, because we see him selling drugs to the guy. You brought it up. You even thought he was buying drugs again. But then he gets to probation.
I didn't know.
He gets that clear.
I didn't know he was selling drugs because I didn't see really pay.
He handed a dude, like, right before she comes out in that scene that we were talking about with the fight.
Was buying something.
Yeah. So, but here goes the deal.
But anyway, so then he was.
Once the movie was a movie that I figured, like, 20 or 30 minutes into the movie, and there's almost no dialogue, I'm literally watching all the stuff, and I thought it was really cool because I start paying attention more to the
everything happened too fast, and then all of a sudden she just got with this guy back again, and then they get married, and he's sending him a picture of them, and I was like, oh, something about the honeymoon, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you can be...
What? I'm like, she's back with this guy, got back with this guy who she didn't get along with and was hitting her, obviously, and...
Yeah, so that was my point of, like...
Him, and then I'm like...
That was my point of being... Like, listen, guys, that was my point of being, like, she kind of deserved a little bit of what she got, because she was dumb enough to go back to this dude that was obviously abusing her. Now, if we would have seen more things where he didn't really treat her that bad or something like that, then I would be like, okay, like, this came out of nowhere situation. But he was like, during that fight scene that we already kind of went over the whole thing, like, you see him, like, abusing her. So for her to go back to that dude, to me, was like...
Well, what happened was...
I felt bad for the Alan character, because, like, he fell in love with her and everything was going really good, and then everything kind of hit the bricks. But then, like, and he truly loved her and everything and cared for her and was going to look like, you know, really going to treat her nice and all this stuff. But then when she goes back to the drug dealer, like you're talking about, I'm like, okay, I'm not really going to feel sorry for her that much, because, like, you're digging your own grave here.
Literally. But there was the thing, so the cop, the good cop, you see him sitting at a desk and you just see him, he goes and gets a file, he sits on it, and he looks at a file and there's pictures. And pictures of, like, the drug guy and his friends and stuff. And I'm like, is he investigating them? Like, how did he just come up with their pictures? Like, what? See, because there's no dialogue, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's like, bro, like, why is he looking at this? And then I'm like, and then he goes to the dirty cop and he gives him the file that he was looking at. And then they close the door and you just see the shades, so you don't know what's said, what's going on back there. So then the guy's driving and he gets pulled over, so he's showing it's raining, and he's
actually,
his badge out the window like I'm.
Hold on, but actually,
the dirty cop kills him.
No, the good cop does go and tell the girlfriend.
Yeah, he went and told the girlfriend about the That's when she was at a place
thing, and they were playing like Christmas music.
This time it was Christmas time, and then you just see her she hits something and she's yelling at him and then
because she's mad because she made a super big mistake. She realizes, oh crap, I gave up on home dude. This is why
like that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why to me in this scene, I'm like, okay, now I'm not like she did kind of turn around and she's like in a bad position. Like you said, she's about to lose her home and everything. Home dude shows up at her diner and then she like she's kind of like she doesn't just go up there and start being nice to him. She's kind of like giving him the cold shoulder kind of situation. But then they end up sitting there and you kind of get like where she's like, oh, this might be my meal ticket maybe or something like that. But in this particular scene, when she finds out that, holy shit, like the Alan character probably didn't do it because the good cop tells her, he gives her the ring back, matter of fact,
and then
she gets pissed, like super pissed because like
we don't know what was said. We don't know what was said. Yeah, so I don't know. So she just seems mad, and you don't know what's said. And then all of a sudden, because there's a piano playing,
she's mad because she screwed up. She realized.
So then she tells him, "Merry fucking Christmas." That's all you hear. No,
she says that to the people in the restaurant, not to him.
Yeah. Well, it was while she was leaving. She yelled out, "Merry fucking Christmas," like that, and then that was one of the dialogue. And I was like, "What was said to her? What was she mad about? Like, I don't understand where all this is coming. This mad things coming from."
When you realize you make a mistake that's that bad, when you realize
what was said to me,
and not only is she mad that
I'm sorry, no,
not only
to know why that person's being blown up, why she's blowing up at that cop like that, and then after that is when the dirty cop pulls the other cop over. He doesn't see and shoots him and kills him. Basically, kills him.
But and in that particular scene, she gets mad because she's like making a mistake, but she's also mad at the decision she made with that guy because she was about to probably marry him. There was like a big house,
yes,
all this stuff. That was exactly. So she's about to marry this drug lord guy. And at that moment, she like realizes like, oh, this is screwed up, and she made a huge mistake, and she's getting super pissed at that dude for what, because he lied to her, because she knows he played a part in the setup.
Though. Like you don't know what was said, so you don't know why she's mad and what's blowing up, and so you can assume, but like you don't know. So I was like, it's just all stupid. It's all stupid to me, and then. And then she goes. Then they're in the scene at the house, and when she gets mad and she's about to leave him, and then his goons grab her in and bring her back into the thing, and then she's being.
They basically put her into like in a drug-induced coma.
But he raped her.
Yeah, they don't actually show that. Like it's not actually like you don't see that, but I mean it's going to be assumed.
Yeah, when you see him above her like that, and her feet's in the air, and he's covering her. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he blows some, like, I guess he had, like, pot or something like that. Maybe it was laced with some stuff, and he, like, takes a puff and he blows it in her face, and you can see she starts, like, feeling, like, her facial expressions and let you know that she's feeling weird. Like I said, you don't actually, you don't see that in the movie. It's implied, definitely, but it's not something that you have to watch. It's not like, you see them, like, the goons and him, like, get her held down in the bed so that he can blow that smoke into her face. And then you see like a part where she's getting rescued where you can see like the actual tracks from where they were like injecting her, like, or he was injecting her with like probably high powered drugs or whatever.
And there was bruises.
Yeah, but that's where the needle things happen.
But there was bruises down her arm, so there was bruises on her body. But because he was being brutal, they were being very rough with her. But then you see somebody looking out the window, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the guy's friend. I'm like, so the guy's friend found out where this dude is. There's two friends that are friends of the Allen guy. I thought they were pretty cool.
Like
they all of a sudden they
the Allen guy's in jail the whole time, but they show him a couple of times interacting with at least the one guy.
One of the guys.
But he's got friends from like when he was a drug dealer himself, probably and it might even be they didn't really give it to you, but like at one point in time, I was kind of like they might have been military buddies, like they were in the military together and they got out and probably like felt and like started doing the things. Or whatever, but definitely 100%. That was me.
Know how to do a lot of stuff. I'm like, where the hell did these two guys come from?
So that's why I thought because they're like putting bullets together.
Because one of the guys is the one that gave the ring.
But yeah, they're doing
was
like
one of
bullets together. They're making these things. So I thought they were friends from like military, and then they get back into the public. Yeah, they get back into the public.
Like,
and to me, but now that is one of the things of me like implying or to me that was what it seemed like, is they used to be like buddies, like possibly like in the military, and then they got out of the military and they started like, well, we need to make money and doing drugs.
That's your interpretation, because we don't know who they are, because
that one I give Brent, like that one is just me making that up. They don't really show, unless I watch it a second time, and maybe there's like a point to where, because he's doing SOS on the window. That's why I think it, because they're doing SOS on the windows. That's something that military, especially back then, would know. Like, so when he's in jail, the way they like communicate so they don't get caught is like he does SOS on the glass. He's tapping the glass and to give him the message of, hey, this is what I need you to do. So he goes and starts looking after the girl, and that's when he sees what happens, where she tries to escape because she's pissed, and she gets drug induced and all this stuff. He goes back and tells home dude, and then that's how they come up with a plan for him to escape out of prison. Get escaped out of prison, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. They obviously going to kill everyone.
So those guys, like, what did they got a guard or something? Was it one of the guards?
They killed like one of the guards.
They tortured them to get the plans.
Oh no, they didn't torture the guards. They tortured like other drug people that they knew that was working with them, and they were making them sign. They were making them sign like a thing. Like,
it was one guy.
No, it was two different dudes. They had one guy like write up something, and he was like messed up a little worse.
I thought it was one guy that they were torturing so they can get the information.
They made one guy write this thing, and then they made the other guy like sign it afterwards. That was some kind of like a confession or something, or basically saying that like, this is what happens, basically possibly to get home dude out. But then, if I'm not mistaken,
I thought it was somebody getting somebody to sign the confession, but I'm like, I don't know. But then it was, they had a secret they got it on the envelope. They made the plans, and he just scribbled. And
they sent it to him in jail. He got that, and then that's whenever he did the whole plan to escape.
He made a shank out of like candle wax.
Something.
Candle wax, because he had soap, and then he made the shape of a knife in the soap, and then he used candle wax to pour it in. And then I'm like, how did he get a candle? And they have candles in jail? I don't think they do.
You can get all kinds of things like in jail. Like, unfortunately, I had a family member that was in jail, and you could send them certain things.
But he made a shank thing out of wax and made it like glass like, and that's how the guard that he pulled through the thing that was fucking with him all the time. He stabbed that guy and took his, which I laughed. I'm like, are they even the same size? Because he's way bigger than that other guy. Like,
the guy who plays Reacher is like super huge. That's part of the.
And that's why I was like, how did he fit into that guard's clothes? Because I was like, they're two different sizes.
Yeah, that would be like a little bit of a thing.
And then the other friend got in there and helped him get him out, and then the other guy was waiting outside. And yeah, so they get through they run through the bad guy. I did like the part where he made he had gasoline cans tied to like tape down to the back of the trunk, and then was making like
that was a pretty cool scene.
And then he smoked a cigarette, and it made flames so the cops couldn't come out of the jail to go chase them.
Yep, that was a pretty cool little thing, but basically we already talked about the end of it, pretty much, except for the very end. Like, this feud goes on because like they get into a car thing, they get in a wreck. The Alan character crosses the thing and doesn't see the body of the other guy. They just literally they're fighting each other in the car.
They go to get the girl at the house.
Yeah,
and then they get the girl, and then they bring and then they killed one of the guys, but nobody saw them come in. And then I liked how like the guy pulled the gun, and I'm sorry, if I see one of the guys dead and I see the front door open, I'm like, oh, somebody's in my house, and I'm going to look out the house. He went right out the front door. I'm like, how do you know the person went out the front door already? Like,
nah, he looked up. He grabbed the guy. He grabbed his guard's gun. One of his guard's gun.
The house is so big because the guys were like going through.
Yeah, but he didn't like just run immediately outside the door. He like looks up the stairs and he's like looking around.
Yeah,
and then he looks one way and then he looks another way. That's how they almost got away, is because he was taking so much time and not just running out the door. Finally, he does run out the door as the cops, because the cops. The dirty cop already knew that they were escaped jail, so he's like trying to warn him.
But he knew apparently where they were going, so he went straight to that guy's house. I'm like, bro, no, it's not realistic either. But anyway,
no, do you have a dude that you threw in jail falsely that's been getting his ass kicked in jail, and you know that he's been sending pictures? Where do you think he's going to go first?
No, you don't think you're going to go directly out of jail right to that dude's house.
Bro, you've been sitting there stewing. My ass is going directly to where I need to go. Because at this point, he ain't even trying to really survive at this point.
But anyway,
he's literally trying to take things out.
I thought the girl, when the girl was in, I thought she was dead. I thought she was dead in the bed, and he picks her up, and then I see her moving. I was like, oh, I thought she was straight dead. And then afterwards, she is straight dead, because the guy goes to shoot him as they're trying to go over the wall, and she happens to wake up at that moment. I was like, oh, and sees the gun, and then throws herself, and she gets shot. And so the girl they're fighting over
gets killed by the driver.
By the first guy that she was with. There shouldn't have been a fight over this stuff anyway. It's just all stupid. Like, it was just all stupid. And then that big fight happened, and then the stuff in the elevator, and they went to the guy's warehouse and was blowing everything up and going to, and then they throw the dude off the freaking thing. It lands on the car, and then he goes to shoot, and then he shoots the bullet he made. Basically said "fuck you" on it with the ring, and he shoots the guy, and it just all it does is like cut his face open. Doesn't even doesn't blow his head off. Like, I was wanting a head blown off at that point, like it would be done. No, then it wasn't done. And I'm like, oh, this shit's still going. And
I didn't want his head blown off because that would be like something that like messes him up the rest of his life. Like it's one of those things where it kind of like you have to see every time you look in the mirror, like you're this idiot that got like taken down.
They're all idiots. They're all idiots in this movie. They're all idiots. And then that scene that happened, then that other guy steals another car and gets it, and then the dude's running and catches that car, and I'm like, that's not realistic. Then they're fighting in the thing, and something happened. So something happened where he couldn't put the brakes on, right? Because something hit underneath the wheel or whatever, and the car was excelling, and they were fighting, and then it flips over, and then they both get out of it. Like, they both fell into the car when it flipped over, so they all just jumped out before it like hit the ground. Like,
when you don't have a roof, so this car is a convertible.
It's convertible.
Like, I've seen people with Jeeps that like actually a family member in a Jeep that like got thrown out of the vehicle that saved their life, because if they would have been still in the Jeep, they would have been crushed to death. So,
but these people were still in, and they fell into.
Obviously, this is a movie, so both of these guys survived.
And I'm like, what did they just jump out at the last minute? Like,
no, they got thrown out. You don't jump out. My family member didn't get thrown out of the Jeep. Or they didn't jump out the Jeep. They got thrown out the Jeep.
Over there. And then the other guy, he disappeared. And then we don't see him. And they're like, I'm like, are you serious? Then what the fuck happened? And then you see, years later, they're old men.
Yeah, old. Yeah.
And then the old man, the drug dealer guy is now like, has an oxygen tank, and he's old, like gray, and can't walk very well. And he sits down and he gets a package and he opens it up, and it said something like, "You were hard to find." And he's like, oh, and he's looking like, oh, I'm scared. But he's like 90 years old. And then you get the other guy, like he goes in there, and then the other dude is in the corner. And
I actually love this because it was funny.
So hard. Yeah. I was like, what?
A lot of people did laugh, but it was like this very serious movie, brutal movie. Brutal kind of story that's being told, and at the end of it, these people are still like going at it.
They were like in their 90s now. They look, and then I'm like, and then they sit down, and then you hear them speak. He said, I loved her because the guy had a shotgun. The Reacher guy or whatever, Alan, had a shotgun, and the other guy just had his oxygen tank, and he sat down and he just went over to the oxygen tank and he shut it off on him.
Yep.
So he's like, and he's like, I loved her, and then he goes, I still love her, and I was like, bro, like, get over it. You didn't find another fucking girl. Like, you're in your like 30s at this point, or maybe younger. I don't know how old they're supposed to be. I'm like, you didn't find another person you loved at that point, and you're just still going after this guy after 90 years. Like, what? That was ridiculous. That was the whole movie to me was stupid. It was just stupid. He loved it. It was the best movie ever.
Best movie of the year.
I covered.
I'm not lying to you.
Okay, so before he said, "Oh, she covered my eyes at one point," that's because you see Shailene's Woodley's boob for a second. I'm like, you ain't seen that. Actually, it was a couple of times you've seen her boob.
Yeah, but there's like one scene where you have to be trying to like. I think I noticed it like towards the end of the scene, but it's the scene where she's like getting thrown on the bed and stuff like that. But like I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm seeing her facial expressions and stuff, and then like the end of the scene, like I saw like she's wearing a dress that's kind of like loose at the top or whatever.
One of the scenes was he's having a vision of her after he heard that they got married.
Bro, this movie's great.
It's not.
It is awesome. Part of the thing that I see here from Brandy, like describing things, was like, I noticed it. I'm really good at reading people and like facial expressions and stuff like that. So I'm watching the movie in a totally different way than she is. She keeps saying like, I was confused like multiple times during this, and I was not confused at any moment during this movie.
You're making your own assumptions of some of the things, and I'm like, how do you know? And you're like, you got a point. I don't know. Like,
no, what are you talking about? The one thing I said.
Go back and watch our thing, and you could see what you said.
What do you? The only time I said that was I was making up a thing about
I had a point.
The military possibly together.
Yeah, and you didn't know that.
That was one.
And then you said I was right about the car when he's running after the car is not realistic.
The end of the end of the movie, there is a scene, like I said, because it's not his thing. Like there's most movies you're going to have some kind of flaw. So like a couple of things that I didn't like about the movie, even though I think it's my the best movie of the year so far, is in the 70s they didn't play any Led Zeppelin. Like that's a flaw. That's nitpicky, but that's a flaw. There was the moment where they actually escape out of the jail. There's a couple of like moments. It's like, all right, this is a little too easy kind of situation. Like, how do these people know how to do this to be able to get out of the jail like they did? There's a really cool moment where they can get away because of what you were talking about with the gas tanks on the back of the car, and they set it afire so they can't just immediately go after them, and it buys them some time. But beyond that, I thought that was a little bit too convenient. And what you just said, like whenever the guy takes off on that car and home dude hawks it down, and he like jumps and it ends up it's a convertible, and he jumps and he's able to land on like the trunk on the back of the car and hold on. That was a little almost like he had a superpower there. But yeah, but besides that,
there was also the scene when she died and he went to the friggin' the grave site. First of all, they already had up the headstone. Not realistic. You don't have it up that fast.
Well, he didn't go there immediately.
The ground was still with the fresh soil. So yeah, it was immediately. Yeah, it was. And he just rubs dirt on his hands, and then he rubs on his face. And I was like, what the fuck?
That was really cool to me. Like, that was a really cool like piece of symbolism to me, because like, even though he's technically the good guy in this film, he plays a role in all the stuff that happens, because like he didn't live a super great life before he met her. He tried to clean his life up because of her, and that's probably why he loved her so much. And when he's like rubbing the dirt on his hands, it's like a symbolism to me, because they don't use a lot of words of my hands were dirty in this as well. Like, I'm not completely innocent. Like I did some things that caused her to lose her life, because like he does go and try to rescue her, like doing a good thing, but because of that, it ends up having her get killed. Yeah.
she's to blame, he's to blame, the other one's to blame. They're all to blame why things went down because they're stupid.
No, I don't think anybody did anything like super.
All of them are stupid.
Everything that happened in this film,
to fight over
I've seen in
like
real life. So that's when I don't call it stupid. Yeah, does it happen all the time? Doesn't happen with everybody. But Maury Povich used to have a show every other day.
Stupid.
Yeah, but that. but no. Yeah, so you can't. The characters in the movie, you can be like, oh, this happened, and the character may have done something stupid that caused like something bad to happen or whatever, or that you don't agree with. But it's like one of those things where it's not stupid in the way of, like I was talking about earlier with dialogue, where people are saying like really stupid or dumb things that doesn't even make sense to their character. This was things that was
they
like,
all did it without saying the words. They all did something that made them stupid without saying words.
No, I could see where he loved her and cared for her, and he did like what he says. I can see the drug dealer. There's always the this guy that's like the bad guy who like actually really does love the lady, but like treats them bad and stuff like that. That happens like every day in our real lives. And there's always the woman who you're criticizing, but there's always women, and you can call them stupid if you want, but there's always the women who get and fall in love with some guy that's a piece of crap that they shouldn't be in love with, that beats them or treats them bad, and they still stick with them, and they leave them maybe because something happens, but then go back to them. That happens like every day in our lives. It happens every day.
That's stupid.
It has happened. It happened to my mom like a few times. So like I've seen it personally, like where she shouldn't have been with this guy, but she and they were together, and then they split up for a second, and then they come back together. Like those kind of things are things that happen all the time.
My sister did the same thing.
So like when I watch a movie, right? So like the characters can be making like dumb choices that I agree with you that are dumb choices, but at the same time, it's not like the way they built these characters. They have these flaws. There's like inherent flaws with all three of the main characters in this story. So like that fits their character. So they're doing something dumb that you would be like, if your friend was doing it, you'd be like, oh, why are you going back to this piece of crap or whatever? But at the same time, the characters in the show, they wasn't doing things dumb that made their characters dumb as far as like, oh, it's not dumb where it's like, oh, it comes out of nowhere. I thought it was set up. I thought it was
came
set
out of nowhere with a lot of shit with me. But anyway, the movie's coming out the 24th. Is that this?
Yep, I definitely
Thursday?
say go see it.
If you want to go see it, go see it. If you see it and you agree with one of us, let us know.
Listen, Brandy passionate about it because I was literally going to go through some bullet points, ask her like what we did at the very beginning, like, hey, what was your favorite scene? And like maybe she could point that out.
I had no
name a couple of things that she didn't like about it.
No, I told
talk about maybe the ending or whatever happened. A couple of things. Yeah, she literally went through and detailed almost everything that happened.
But it happens in different. So you have to go to the movie to see how. Because some of it we jumped around.
We did warn you it was a spoiler review.
Yeah. And I did jump around a little bit, so you have to see what, how they.
She doesn't like it, so the way she's telling it and everything else does not do the movie justice. It's not as bad as because she obviously doesn't like it.
Let me know. And was I right or was Justin right?
I think I'm right. I'm being honest with you 100%. Like, I was like amazed at how good.
Listen,
I was amazed at how good they were able to tell a story with less than 10 words.
We're not gonna always agree on things. There's something
I was so amazed and so shocked. So amazed and shocked at less than 10 words.
We're both right in our ways. Like there are people that are gonna see it my way, and there are people that might see it your way. I don't think any of us are wrong in how we see it because it's how you interpret it. Because there's no dialogue.
I loved it.
No dialogue.
I would not have loved the idea of this before I seen it, but after watching the movie, I am not playing. It's the best movie I've seen this year.
Not for me.
We haven't seen Spider-Man, which we'll be seeing here soon. And we have seen 5 or 6 of these screen unseens. I think it's the best one we've seen out of all the ones that we've gotten so far. Especially that last one. That last one we got was we didn't even do a review for that one, and I don't really care too.
It's the one with Adam Scott.
I thought that one was pretty good too. It was like the horror. That was the Scream unseen that we went and seen. She's talking about. I thought that movie was done pretty good, but I still think this movie, the way they were able to do that, the actors and the cast, like how good they were in it without using dialogue, how difficult that is to not be able to like use the words, but to just be able to like do the facial expressions and the nuances and how you move.
It's a different acting.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it because a lot of people can only do the word thing and they really can't do the emotional stuff with the body and their like face and everything. But all of these, I thought everybody in the cast, even the guy that you said you liked, it was kind of like the he was like Latino or whatever, but he was like the guy that was on the good side. He was Alan's friend.
Yeah, I like that.
Even like him, the way he like moved around and stuff. It was
he
really
was like
cool.
a ninja to me. He was the one that was like the ninja one.
Yeah, I mean he's the one that the guy got the knife from. But with all that being said, guys, obviously we have two different varying opinions on this one. I think it's the best movie of the year. She doesn't like it, obviously. Do not let
go see it. Let me.
Yeah, don't let how she talked about it, because you might go in there and be like me and love it. And I will say it is catered. I think it is catered more towards like the men. Like I think it is. Like you can be. There's obviously like there was a decent amount. There was one girl that was sitting next to me in the movie theater that I thought really liked it because of some of the reactions she had.
I've seen some of the. So it's not just catered to the.
Yeah, but you can't listen, girl. You can't bring up the women that were in there in a movie that they don't even know what movie they're going to see.
They were out. It was after the movie, and I heard them say they.
Oh yeah. No. But I'm saying like. You can't be like acting like, oh, they were in the movie theater, so obviously they no. Like,
no, they said it. I heard them say it. They were talking to one of the employees. They asked how you enjoyed the movie. Like I listened, I paid attention. I am aware of my surroundings, Justin. Like, good job, buddy.
But
I'm aware of my surroundings.
But hey, if they were standing there and she couldn't hear what they were saying, and they were making like positive motions.
Then I would think they were talking and they might know the guy and they were talking about something, you know?
Maybe.
What I mean? But no, I heard them say it again because dialogue is important.
I actually do agree, but just like in music, my favorite part about music is the dialogue and the words and the story that are being told, not just the sounds that the instruments make, but then sometimes you hear something that doesn't have a word in it, but it's one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. So there you go.
This movie.
This movie.